Merry Christmas guys, I'm TJ in my PJs and tonight I will be showing you all how to make my favorite Christmas log cake. This is something I make for my family and friends annually. It's something that they all demand for. So I thought of sharing this recipe with you all. I hope you like it. Let's get started. We're going to start by making a sponge. Now we want this sponge to be nice and light and fluffy and airy. To do that, we will start by taking 5 room temperature eggs, adding them to a KitchenAid bowl. If you don't have KitchenAid at home or any kind of stand mixer, don't worry, I'm here. You can do this with an electric whisk or with a whisk, like an actual whisk, like a whisk. We will start by adding eggs, 5 room temperature eggs to this bowl. We will whip this up, incorporate as much air as we possibly can. Let's do that. And then I'm going to add sugar, caster sugar, straight into this bowl. Now we're going to whip this up. The idea is to incorporate as much air as possible. There is no other raising agent in this recipe. There's no baking soda, there's no baking powder. All that we have are these eggs. So please give it all the love and all the time that it needs to whip up. Alright, this is done. I think the eggs have inflated and gotten all airy and beautiful. Now it's time to add the dry ingredients. I'm going to start by adding cocoa powder. So I'm using non-alkalized cocoa powder from All Things. I shall leave the link below. My sifted flour, just like my sifted cocoa, goes in now. Pinch of salt. I am going to give this a whisk just to ensure that everything is well mixed together. Alright, so we can now start adding our dry ingredients, mixing it up with the eggs. The one thing that you have to remember here is that we're going to do this in 2 batches. Like I told you earlier, we have to ensure that the air here remains, does not deflate. So I'm going to add the first batch, the first half in, whip it up on a slow speed and then add the remaining and whip it up on high. And add the remaining dry ingredients in with this mixture. And now we're going to whip this up on high speed. I'm going to add the vanilla now. This is the last ingredient that's going to go in. So after the vanilla, a quick whisk. And done. Don't overbeat this, please, otherwise all the air will deflate. Alright, this looks good. Happy with this. I'm going to take a spatula and I'm quickly going to run this by the sides of the bowl to ensure that any excess cocoa powder or dry ingredients that have gotten stuck are mixed in nicely. Again, do this very gently because we don't want to knock out any of the air. Now it's time to add the batter into a tray. So today I'm using a 15 by 8 inch tray which I have lined with a little bit of oil. some parchment paper and brushed a little bit of oil on top of the parchment paper. Make some way. Pouring the batter very gently. Just spread this batter ever so lightly and bring it towards the sides of the tray without knocking too much air. Alright, once we've spread this out evenly, it's now time to bake this in an oven that I've preheated at 190 degrees, and this is going to go in for about 10 to 12 minutes till the time the skewer comes out clean. So yeah, let's bake this baby. So the sponge looks nice and springy. This looks done. Next step is to take cocoa powder and dust it generously all around a tea towel, a clean tea towel. Now it's time to run a knife just along the sides of the tray. Let's flip this baby over. Be brave, be brave. Tap. Alright, just going to remove the parchment paper, butter paper, and it comes out pretty easily. And now, as quickly as possible, we're going to start rolling this log into a log, and we're going to let it cool this way. We have to let this cool like this at room temperature for 30 minutes. And while that's happening, we can start making our filling. Today I'm using dark chocolate ganache, and if you want to learn how to make this recipe, click on the link here. I will, however, be making it a little more lighter, a little more moussey in texture by adding some whipped cream to it. Again, please feel free to use any kind of filling you want to, from jams to compotes to anything you feel like. You can make a milk chocolate ganache, the recipe will be there too. So yeah, let's get started by making our filling. I've got ganache in my bowl. I'm just going to loosen it up slightly. And I'm just going to add a little bit of whipped cream to this ganache to make the texture slightly light and airy and moussey. And yeah, that's all. Now it's time to fill the log. This has been resting for 30 minutes. I'm now going to roll this out. Don't worry about the cracks. I mean, this is inevitable in a log cake. There is beauty in imperfections. Let's never forget that. On that note, I'm going to start adding my filling. Be generous with the filling, and don't forget to leave a fair bit of space around the edges when you're spreading the filling, because we don't want our filling to spill out. It's time to roll this baby back into a log. I'm going to flip this over and I'll start turning it. Turning this side first. Again, if you see cracks, please don't worry about it. All of this will get covered up. That's the best part about a log cake. It's a very delicate and soft sponge, so this is going to happen inevitably. We're going to let this set in the fridge for 30 minutes, and don't forget the seam side has to be down. So once you flip this over, this is how we're going to place it in the fridge. So our log is out of the fridge, and now it's time to slather it with some ganache. I'm gonna go right in. I'm taking a fork and I'll just run it through this log to actually give it a log effect. So ganache sets really easily, and you have to be a little careful, and you have to do this really quickly. Once it sets, you won't be able to do this. Now that this is done, I'm going to let this firm up in the fridge for another 5-10 minutes, and this is going to happen really quickly. Like I said, chocolate ganache sets very quickly. Then trim the ends to give it a neater look and transfer it onto a cake stand or a cake base. Our Christmas vlog is now ready for decoration. I'm going to decorate it with some meringue kisses, which I'll show you how to make later, blueberries and strawberries. Voila! Christmas log cake is ready. I can't wait to take this home to my husband, who is down with the flu just like me. We're both gonna slice it up and have it with a cup of milk, warm milk by the side. If you like this video, please like, comment, give it a big thumbs up and share this video. Subscribe to my channel. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.